Well, it's no longer news that AriseTV had their presidential town hall debate today with three presidential candidates: Waziri Atiku Abubakar, Rabi Musa Kwankwaso, and Peter Obi. And, there's been a shift, because if you go on social media, a lot of people, surprisingly and then a number of Obidients are saying, like, look, they were impressed with how articulate and intelligent Atiku sounded, and that's the thing, when you watch that interview or whether you watch the town hall, you just see that Atiku dominated. The other people, that's Rabi Musa Kwankwaso and Peter Obi, were just like an echo. Why? Because when they would ask a question, Atiku would answer, would respond first, and then the other two will respond, stealing Atiku's responses, almost like an echo. And so this, honestly speaking, if you go on social media right now, if you look at the trend, there's just a shift in the trends, even among Obidients, and you know how hardcore Obidients can be. There's a shift in the trends. People are just saying that, look, this man is articulate. This man. Anyway, watch his answer to this question. Put your comments in the comment section.
And Rabiu, fundamentally, it's education. We have to get our kids educated, and not educated only, but rightly educated. And then by the time you educate them, you find that they become readily available to the private sector, which should be actually the engine of growth. The private sector is the driver of prosperity in any given nation. The responsibility of the public sector, that is the government, is to see how we can incentivize the private sector to really make use of these talented young men and women who will be produced through our educational reform. And educational reform must be in such a way that they are able to cope, with current educational trends. That is technology, innovation, and so on and so forth. But as a developing country, Nigeria's mainstay, as far as employment is concerned, is agriculture. We must revolutionize our agricultural sector to make sure that it employs as many young men and women as possible. And the only way you can do that is to make sure that incentives are given again to the private sector to expand, the agricultural base of the country. As a public sector, as a government, that's the best way you can, ensure that prosperity spreads as much as possible. And the second employer of labor in our economy is the small and medium enterprises. And that's why we propose to set aside a very, very substantial amount of money so that the small and medium enterprises can be funded. In other words, making our young men and women to access those funds, to be able to set up businesses and therefore, as much as possible, reduce, the rate of our poverty is very, very important.